Adrian, fighting for her, stealing every chance. Lucas was famous in their circle as the ultimate wife-doting maniac. For me, he had turned down a family-arranged merger, and for 3 straight years he spoiled me without a single off day. Yet at his bachelor party the night before our wedding, his first love asked, "If I crash the ceremony and steal you, will you run away with me?" He answered, dead serious, "I will." I swallowed my tears and texted my billionaire best friend, "Can you get me out of here, fastest possible?" 7 minutes later she screeched up, tires throwing sparks. "I've always told you, a face and temperament like yours belong in a mansion being worshipped. My brother's gorgeous, my dad's still hot, pick one." One with the wedding days away, Lucas's childhood buddies threw him a blowout bachelor bash. Everyone in that tight little circle knew Lucas worshipped me. If I weren't invited, he'd still sprint home before 10, no matter who was left hanging. So this time they happily put my name on the list too. The moment I stepped inside I felt something off. They greeted me warmly, then flicked secret glances at Lucas. I had no idea what the signals meant. After everyone was seated, a short-haired girl breezed in late. "Sorry, traffic was murder." Tall, slim, voice bright and brisk. Lucas beside me went rigid. For the first time in my life I saw a face miss a heartbeat. She thrust her hand at me, all sunshine. "You must be the bride-to-be. I'm Stella, nice to meet you." Hearing the name, everything clicked. She was the white moonlight Lucas had loved for 5 years. Back then he hadn't been the steady man he was now. He'd chased her like crazy. Tens of thousands of roses arranged in her courtyard. 100-yard wall of fireworks fired off the beach for her. His entire youth had overflowed with her name. 3 years ago, though, she'd dumped him to follow another guy overseas for grad school. That was when I met Lucas. At that dinner party he walked toward me rough the hazy bar lights. I'd barely sipped half a glass, yet I was drunk as a puppy. I pestered friends for every scrap of intel on him. When they shoved me in front of him, my tongue tied itself in knots. "I'm Chloe Hawthorne, may I have your surname?" The table exploded in laughter. Lucas's brows, furrowed for months, finally uncreased. After we got together he poured every ounce of tenderness into me. He memorized what I loved and what I couldn't stand. No matter how late my shift ended, he waited to drive me home. Every holiday brought a gift he'd thought over for days. I showed up in all his Instagram stories, introduced to every relative and friend. Even his buddies started to whine, "You're reaping what someone else sowed, Chloe." Lucas leveled up his EQ chasing the impossible girl, and you get the finished product. Their words never stung. They said I looked nothing like her, acted nothing like her. I wasn't a stand-in. And I could feel Lucas loved me, really loved me. 3 fiery years, then a heartfelt proposal. I thought our story would glide straight into happily ever after. Reality chose that moment to slug me in the face. Stella parked herself beside me without hesitation. From her bag she pulled a bottle of perfume. "Wedding present. The scent's divine, I've worn it 8 years running." She smiled until her eyes curved. You had to admit, she was smooth, likable. Even the gift was for me, not Lucas. I accepted, thanked her. Next she had her phone out to add me on WhatsApp. "If he ever bullies you, tattle to me. Although Lucas and I grew up together, I'm not taking the in-laws side, you've got my vote." The table applauded. "That's our big sis, still a boss." Stella paused, leaned forward, looked past me to Lucas. "Hey, what's with you? 3 years, 0 texts, cat got your tongue?" Everyone nursed drinks or popcorn eyes, glued to the 3 of us, terrified of missing the juicy bit. Lucas's ears flamed scarlet. He didn't even swivel his head toward her. "See?" Rattling his glass, he forced a joke, not talkative, just rusty. "Didn't know what to say." Stella laughed. "Blaming me for the silence?" She lifted her glass. "So we reconnect from now on?" Lucas glanced at me. "I'm wife-whipped. Future messages go through channels, my wife has to approve." They clinked, grins burying the hatchet. Everything above board. No code words, all cards on the table. Yet sitting between them, I felt a rock in my chest. 3 years had taught me Lucas's body language cold. Tonight he was vibrating with nerves. Drinks flowed, karaoke roared, dice clacked. Near the end, everyone was sloppy drunk. Lucas lost finger guessing to Stella and picked truth. After behaving all night, Stella suddenly turned reckless. Head tilted, tipsy and coy, she asked Lucas, "If I show up at your wedding and steal the groom, will you run off with me?" The table, half sloshed, detonated. Finally, about time they quit pretending. "That's the flavor we came for. Answer up, will you go?" Lucas's eyes were red from liquor. He stared at her, feelings crashing like waves. He answered, utterly sincere, "I will." The room blew apart. Knew it. Bride snatch. Bride snatch. The cheers yanked every head in the club toward us. Sandwiched between them, I couldn't breathe, my hands shook. I had no script for this humiliation. I fled to the restroom, eyes stinging, thumbs flying to Layla. Can you get me out, fastest possible? She called instantly. Somebody mess with you? Not now. Please just come. I was on the brink of tears. Layla snapped, voice jumpy as a war drum. Hold tight, 10 minutes. No, 7. Not that urgent. Drive safe. Shut up and wait. 7 minutes later Layla's Bugatti shrieked to the curb, tires spitting sparks. The second I saw her I lost it, eyes flooding. She grabbed my hand, fury crackling. Who messed with her? Lucas, you alive? She's this upset and you just watch? Layla, heiress, hellraiser, force of nature, had the whole gang shrinking. Spotting Stella. Her stare honed to a blade. Oh, look who's back. Stella stood, looping an arm around me, all sugar. Just party games, got out of hand. My bad. I'm thick-skinned, first time hanging with such a delicate flower, misjudged. Layla yanked me behind her. Hands off. You're not clueless, you're faking it. Lucas finally sobered, rubbing his temples. Chloe's tired. I should take her home. Layla snorted. I'm here, so spare me. Go back to statue mode. Everyone stood around awkwardly while Layla helped me pack. She chattered nonstop as she folded clothes. I told you ages ago, face, figure, personality like yours deserves a real dynasty, not some nouveau riche circus. That world's all claws and smiles, knives behind perfume smiles. A sweet little lamb like you? Fodder. Lucas's family still clocks in at 9 liquid figures. A 9-figure upstart, such a niche insult. But coming from Layla, nobody dared cough in disagreement. When she finished, she lifted my handbag. Spotting the ribbon-wrapped bottle of perfume inside, she didn't even ask, just plucked it out and dropped it on the carpet. Stale old thing, and she thought it was a gift. The bottle rolled once, twice, stopping at Stella's stilettos. Stella's composure cracked right down the middle. Layla tugged me toward the door. Lucas chased us, catching my wrist. Chloe, don't be mad. That atmosphere, her springing the question, my head just short-circuited. I stared into those famously devoted eyes and felt every ounce of strength drain away. So you're saying it was pure reflex? That deep down you do want to be with her? Of course not. Chloe, it was only a game. If I'd said no, she'd have been humiliated in front of everyone. You protected her pride by stomping on my dignity? I gave her a polite answer, I'm giving you a lifetime. I yanked free, so furious I laughed. So I still came out ahead? Lucas, 3 years together and I never noticed, you're a champion plate spinner. Outside, Layla's Ferrari roared up, horn blah. Ring. Lucas tried again. Let me drive you home. We can talk on the way. Layla leaned out the window. If you're so free, take your green plate Bentley and hustle a few Uber rides, clear your head. Lucas's throat closed around the words. For the first time, that green plate Bentley felt like a badge of shame. I slid into the passenger seat, looked back, and said it quietly. Our wedding is off. Both of us need to think, really think, about what we want. For on the ride home I scrolled Instagram. Stella had posted twice. First, she really doesn't resemble me one bit. But don't you think that only makes the imitation more obvious? Second, if these 3 years were meant to prove dumping you was my mistake, congratulations, you succeeded. The tears I'd corked all night blew their lid. I sobbed out loud, hating every minute of the 3 years I'd handed over. I'd thought Lucas's lavish devotion was love. Turns out it was theater, every act staged for her benefit. I was just the convenient prop in their high-level tug-of-war. Layla is a straight-ticket pragmatist. Comforting clichés aren't in her toolkit, she fixes things. Stop bawling. Plenty more men, just swap one out. My brother's got the face and body, my dad's still got charisma, pick one. When I'd cried myself dry, her pitch made me laugh. Layla, I'm pathetic, huh? I can't even fight my own battles. She patted my head like a big dog. Quit the nonsense. People are wired different. Mom died early, the 3 of us left behind are all awkward at showing affection. I went full rebel, gave everyone migraines, and rarely get to be useful. You, on the other hand, are a soft-hearted angel, every day with you feels like spring. Plus you give the least painful shots in the city. When I was hospitalized, without you visiting every day, coaxing me through the needles, I'd never have lasted. The speech rebuilt my collapsed pride, brick by brick. Layla grinned. Seriously, why won't you marry into my family? She'd floated the idea before. We met when she was my patient. The chief attended, I assisted. Because I spoke gently and didn't leave bruises, she pulled rank and made me her personal physician. A revolutionary friendship was forged. Back then I was already dating Lucas. Layla beat her breast daily. Why didn't I get sick a few months earlier? You were single, there was still hope to drag you home as my sister-in-law. The innocent party, Adrian, her brother who'd flown home on leave to visit, turned the color of old asphalt under her nonstop campaign. Thanks to her, my relationship with Adrian started at sub-zero. Every chance encounter, I stared at my shoes, he stared at the ceiling, both pretending the other was invisible. Recently Adrian finished his fellowship abroad and joined Riverdale, office right next to mine. The arrival of the hospital's new ice sculpture cardiothoracic god detonated the nursing staff. Women invented excuses to drift past his door, sick days plummeted. I scheduled bathroom breaks like a combat mission, anything to avoid colliding with him in the corridor. When I stayed mute, Layla bounced. Your silence means you're actually weighing it, right? So, my brother or my dad? My eye twitched. If those are the only choices, I guess your dad. Layla lit up like Times Square. Yes. I was hoping you'd say that. Dad's older, odds are he checks out early. You'll inherit fast, and we'll hire runway models every day. My brother's no good, eats clean, works out, probably has the lifespan of a tortoise. You'd never outlive him. Me. 5 next afternoon Layla materialized at Riverdale exactly at shift end. Dragging me past Adrian's office, she barged straight in. Big bro, pulling overtime tonight? Adrian looked up from his monitor. 6'3", sculpted cheekbones, a nose you could ski down, eyes cold enough to freeze vodka, gorgeous enough to make you resent your creator. He skimmed a glance over me, cool and flat. Nope. Across the desk Wong's head snapped up. Vance, didn't you just... Adrian speared him with a look. Wong swallowed the rest. Layla pressed on. Going out for dinner, then? Adrian offered a reserved lift of one shoulder. Fine. He shut his laptop and stacked files with surgical precision. Layla beamed. Perfect. Eat out, stay out. I'm kidnapping Chloe for family dinner. She relaxes more when you're not looming. Adrian's hand stilled mid-motion. Slowly he raised his eyes to Layla's face. A murderous static filled the room. Then take her to a restaurant. Our chef isn't that good. His tone was pure permafrost. The Vance cook, Davis, had been head gardener until her back rebelled. She traded trowels for tongs. Her cuisine is, nutritionally honest. Layla rose on tiptoe and whispered in his ear. I'm bringing her home to meet Dad. Heh, future stepmom incoming, surprise. Adrian straightened to his full height, gaze boring holes through her skull. A beat later he seized her by the collar and marched her toward CT. Come on, let's image your head. Must have left part of it in your last admission. Layla's protests echoed down the hallway. My brain's intact. Listen, 3 perks to a young stepmom. 1. Dad remarries, stops harassing us to procreate. 2. She whispers sweet nothings about succession. Dad signs the company over to me. Boom, I'm CEO, you stay ice cave, everyone wins. 3. With her youth and curves, we'll have a baby brother by next year. Line secured, you can go get snipped if you want. Ow. Why are you twisting my arm? Let me go. 6. As the car pulled away from Riverdale, a familiar shape flashed past the rear window. I twisted around. Was that Lucas? Layla stayed perfectly calm. Nope, your eyes are playing tricks. Right now he's probably curled up somewhere with his long-lost moonlight, pouring his heart out. No time for you. I pride myself on emotional stability. I'd even planned to end things with dignity. But her words cracked that plan in half. I blocked every number, every chat thread, anything that could put Lucas in front of my eyes. Out of sight, out of mind. We reached the mansion only a minute behind Adrian. The moment he walked in he vanished upstairs to change. Stone-cold expression the entire way. He didn't reappear until Davis set the last dish on the dining table. Layla took one look and yelped. Are you sick? Why are you dressed like that in your own house? Adrian sat at the head of the table, knife-creased charcoal suit, not a hair out of place, a frosty CEO in portrait mode. I always look like this, he said through his teeth. Layla's mouth twitched, no reply came out. Right then Victor strode in, greeting me warmly before claiming his usual chair. Adrian scanned his father's own impeccably tailored suit. Aren't you changing? You always rip that thing off the second you get home, whining that will makes you itch. Victor flicked his gaze from me to his impeccably dressed son and beamed. Rare occasion, having company, I figured I'd show some class. Adrian's jaw twitched in perfect imitation of his sister. Dinner officially began. Adrian held half a bowl of rice like it might bite him. Move the pork knuckles farther away, too greasy. Davis obeyed without comment. Adrian nibbled a forkful of bok choy like a Victorian countess. Victor squinted. Since when do you skip meat? You used to treat greens as decoration. Adrian's chopsticks froze. He glanced at his father was attacking, with chopsticks. And you normally massacre steak with those same chopsticks. Victor swallowed wrong and started coughing. I jumped in to mediate. Knives feel clunky sometimes, I use chopsticks on steak too. The tension eased, barely. Adrian wouldn't drop it. Dad's favorite used to be chili fish head, he'd spit bones all over the cloth. Okay, that's it, what is wrong with you tonight? Victor slammed his chopsticks down and stalked off. Eat without me, rage has filled me up. Layla kept her head down, shoveling rice, afraid to ask, afraid to speak. Davis finally broke the hush. There's a car parked outside our gate forever, looks like a bid? Adrian rose instantly. Enjoy your food, I'll handle it. Moments later his voice drifted up from the drive. Uncle Zhang, tell that green plate driver he's got the wrong address, nobody here hailed a ride. Give him $500 and send him to the noodle stand up the road. Poor guy waited all evening. I whispered to Layla. Your brother's weird, but kind of sweet. Layla, 7 afraid Lucas might show up at my place. Layla ordered me to stay with them for a few days. Adrian didn't object. He actually volunteered his own bedroom, better sunlight, and exiled himself to the guest room next to his father. Layla clicked her tongue in amazement. My brother never lets girls past the foyer, let alone touch his stuff. I've accused him of mild misogyny. Yet look at this tolerance. Know what that means? What? I asked. Adrian's footsteps on the stairs slowed to a creeping shuffle. It means those 2 cheating rats were so vile they thawed even my iceberg brother for a second, she fumed. Close your mouth if that's all you can say, Adrian growled, then thundered down the rest of the steps. His room was surgically neat, scented faintly with cedar. I cracked a window for air, a gust rattled the bookshelf and spilled a folder of papers. I knelt to gather them, patient notes I'd written for Layla 3 years ago, page after page in my handwriting. Underneath lay a single sheet in his elegant, forceful strokes. Chloe, Tsinghua General. No emotion on the surface, the whole page humming with swallowed feeling. Hands shaking, I slid everything back exactly as it was. I zombie walked to the bed and lay stiff, ordering myself not to think, not to read meaning into anything. But the room breathed Adrian, and when I shut my eyes his face flickered behind my lids like a broken film reel. I failed spectacularly at sleep. 8 morning found us at the table again. I wore panda eyes, Adrian wore a matching set. Victor looked 10 rs older, wilted. Layla gawked. Did nobody sleep? I mumbled, different bed, I guess. Adrian, same here, different bed. Victor glared at his son with exhausted outrage. You couldn't handle one night so you tortured me? Every time I got up to pee you materialized like a ghost. 8 trips, 8. Who does that? Adrian stayed haughty. What kind of person needs 8 bathroom breaks? Victor's lip quivered. I'm old, my bladder's small. Happy? I'm a freak. He threw his chopsticks down and stomped away, second meal ruined by rage. No wonder the man never gains weight. Layla nibbled a soup dumpling. Let Adrian drive you to work, I'm heading the opposite way. I waved her off. No trouble, I'll call a cab. Adrian stood. I'm going right past Riverdale, I'll drop you the rest of the week. He thrust his phone at me, ears crimson. Add me on WhatsApp. I hesitated, unsure of the etiquette. Layla scoffed. Seriously, bro? Carpooling a colleague means you bill her for gas? Oh, practicality, not flirtation. I tapped his QR code in record time and sent $600. Enough? Adrian said nothing, only stared at Layla like a man deprived of all will. 9 The commute felt twice as long in Adrian's glacial silence. To survive, I scrolled Instagram, where my world imploded. Sometime last night the famously aloof Vance had posted, started a new play setting today. Cute emoji, the photo framed my mountain of rice, plus my right hand clutching chopsticks. Compressed pixels still revealed how brutally I'd tamped that bowl down so I wouldn't ask for seconds. I died inside. The comment section detonated. Stella had replied within seconds, who is that? Lucas, recognizing my bracelet, spammed hysterical messages, she's at your place? What the hell are you implying? Tell her I'm coming to get her. You win this round, just wait. I turned to Adrian, voice thin. Why post something like that? He kept his eyes on the road. People think I'm cold. I felt like displaying some hospitality. I massaged my temples. How do you even know Stella and Lucas? Stella tagged along with a classmate when I started my fellowship overseas. Lucas showed up in my DMs one day, babbling about taking care of her, then never texted again. I suddenly remembered. They'd said Stella had chased another boy overseas. Only now did the penny drop. The guy Stella followed was actually you? Adrian turned his head and looked at me, utterly serious. I have nothing with her. We're not even friends. I rapidly untangled the timeline. So, for the last 3 years, you could see every single one of Lucas's Instagram posts? Right. I recalled our first meeting. Adrian had stared at me, frozen, until Layla let out a pig slaughter shriek and he snapped back. So, that day at Riverdale, our first encounter, you already recognized me? I asked. Wrong. The order's backwards. Adrian kept his eyes on the road. Each word stabbed clean into my heart. I met you at the hospital first. Only afterward did Lucas' friend request me, and on his feed I saw you again. If I hadn't spotted you there, I'd never have had the patience for his nonsense, and I sure wouldn't still have him in my contacts. The info detonated inside my skull like firecrackers. In the end I latched onto one clear thread. In other words, Lucas had already been with me, yet still couldn't let go of his white moon. Pathetically, he bombarded the very man his goddess wanted with weird messages. My eyes stung, I couldn't speak for ages. Adrian silently passed me a tissue. Don't cry. Plenty of fish, just swap one out. I blew my nose. Those messages he sent you, mind if I take a look? Adrian fossilized for several beats. Then, decisive, not a chance. Fine, be that way. But what's with the mortified look of a kid caught pants down? 10 for the next stretch. I slept at Layla's at night and rode to work with Adrian in the morning. Life stayed loud, the heartbreak period zipped by. Adrian resembled some gradually civilized Kavima. And not only did he learn to care, he even started learning to cook. Davis panicked, positive she'd soon be unemployed. The other victim was Wong across from him. Adrian suddenly quit overtime. Wong manned the fort alone, his hairline retreated by the day. Layla clicked her tongue. The most psycho one in our family is turning almost normal. Still, I thought he wasn't quite there. Example, before lights out he doctored me like a patient. How've these 2 nights been, sleeping okay? I nodded. Used to it. In a blink he posted, she's finally used to my bed. 3 the photo, my blouse hanging on his headboard. Comments must have been filthy. By the time I saw it, the row read, comment deleted, I gaped. Vance, this to showcase your hospitality too? He peeled grapefruit for me, unperturbed. No, this one's pure public PDA, targeting dogs. First dog hit, Stella. Maybe she lost a whole night's sleep. At dawn she hovered outside Adrian's door, craning to see who the Instagram girl could be. Wrong place, wrong time. Normally late sleeper Layla was miraculously up early. When their eyes met, Layla grinned like a demon. Heaven has a road, yet you march straight to hell. She'd itched to hit someone forever. Civilization kept her in check, until now. Layla leisurely rolled up her sleeves. Then, belly roar, burglar, catch her. She charged, fists flew, thuds everywhere. Davis staggered up at the racket, broom in hand, joining the melee. As Stella's shrieks peaked, Davis regained a sliver of conscience. Too heavy? Layla, light shots teach a thief anything? Your cooking's weak, Wong, so's your swing. Davis, picturing unemployment, flexed. She swung till her face twisted. Security finally pried her off. Stella, purple bruises, pig head swelling, could barely sob air. 11 during my shift I ended up treating freshly patched up Stella. She'd just calmed. Spotting my bracelet, the one from Adrian's post, she detonated again. It was you. You went after him to get back at me? I pinned her. Hold still during the scan. That machine costs more than you can pay. I accidentally pressed a bruise, she held. Once the pain ebbed, reason returned. Seeing a soft target, she sneered. Lucas's answer that night must have cut deep, huh? Know this, you and I are not the same. I'm the chase he couldn't quite catch for 5 years, you offered yourself on a plate. Dirt beneath his sky, get it? First love memories glow forever, darling. Even if you'd married, I'd live in his heart till death. Smart girl. Every syllable a knife. But I no longer bled. I kept scanning, face blank. She lowered her voice, twisting the blade. Know what? After you left he drove me home, stayed the night. While you tossed and turned, he slept like a baby beside me. That's the man you loved 3 whole years. Sure, I hurt you, yet you should thank me for unmasking him, right? I frowned, grave. Stella gloated. All that calm a second ago, cracking now? I shook my head. After a beat, I printed a slip and handed it over. Ultrasound scan shows a mass in your right breast. Breast cancer can't be ruled out. Need a needle biopsy for confirmation. Stella's smile froze. What? You're bluffing. Think too highly of me. I'm not that bored. I stood, packed the probe, disinfected, tossed waste, utterly unruffled. I even pushed the fruit basket toward her. From the lady who roughed you up, take it. She hurt you, sure, but maybe thank her. This scuffle caught you a possible disease, didn't it? Stella stared blankly, her hands loosened. Fruit rolled across the floor. 12 Lucas showed up on a long-lost cloudless noon. The brief lull of lunch break. Spotting me alone, Adrian claimed chest pain and begged a quick check. Before I could object, he locked the door, shrugged off his coat, stretched on the couch. Button by button he undid his shirt. Usually he looked lean in clothes. Unbuttoned, he revealed thick, sculpted pecs. When I stayed seated he urged, "What's up, Chloe, let's begin." I said earns. TLY, for a chest exam you don't need the shirt open to the navel. Oh. Leisurely he refastened the lower buttons, hiding the gorgeous 8-pack. I disinfected the probe, smeared gel. The instant I touched his muscle he shivered. Even my breathing lost its steady rhythm. Relax, Adrian. Loosen up, I teased, curling my lips. I slid the probe slowly across his chest, the transducer gliding over skin. The room was unnervingly quiet. Adrian's lashes trembled, a flush crawled up his neck. TSK, can't handle the heat, yet he keeps playing with fire. At that exact moment, Wong from next door burst in. Is Sterling here? One look and he saw his stoic, ascetic colleague half naked on the cot beside me. Wong squeezed his eyes shut in agony. Adrian sat up and refastened his buttons. His face snapped back to its usual glacial cool. I bit back a laugh. What's up, Wong? Still squeezing his eyelids shut, he blurted, "There's a green plate Bentley downstairs, stuffed with flowers, looks like it's for you, Sterling." I blinked. I pushed the window open. Sure enough, Lucas. These past weeks he'd been cornering me like a cornered dog himself, once even booking an appointment under a fake name. After his tear-drenched apology, I'd calmly referred him to psychiatry next door. Clearly, he hadn't taken the prescription. Now he stood below, a riot of color behind him, an entire flower truck in bloom. When he spotted me at the window, the tearful confession began. I was drunk that night. When I woke up, the damage was done. I regretted every second. Later, sober, I realized it was just obsession, years of wanting what I couldn't have. Only after I lost you did I understand. The one I truly love has always been you. Chloe, can you forgive me? Let me win you back, the way I used to? His eyes burned with hope. I used to wonder what Lucas had looked like as a teenager, arranging flower trucks for Stella beneath her dorm. Back then he'd been bright, brash, all shy delight and first love sparkle. Nothing like the tormented man below. You can't have your cake and eat it too. I turned to Wong. Hardly for me, this is a code gray disturbance. Get security up here before he unfurls that banner and ends up viral on Riverdale socials. The city was in the middle of a civilized metropolis campaign. Wong panicked and sprinted off, yelling for guards. Lucas hadn't even shaken out the apology banner before a swarm of uniformed security pinned him to the pavement with steel poles. Cranking his neck upward, he searched the windows for me, then saw Adrian at my side. His eyes rimmed scarlet, a slurred, furious curse spilled out. You scheming bastard, lying in wait all this time just to steal her. Adrian! Get down here. Be a man, come down. He howled and sobbed, looking even more like a psych case. Wong barked, gag him, don't let him make a scene. A strip of medical tape slapped over Lucas's mouth. The guards hauled him off to the security office. I exhaled, shut the window, and turned, only to find Adrian unbuttoning again. He sat there, dewy-eyed and not remotely done. We weren't finished, he murmured, tugging my hand to his chest. Chloe, feel how fast my heart is racing. Extra chat history, Adrian times Lucas 23, 2021. You are now friends. Adrian? Lucas, hi, sorry to bother. I'm Lucas, Stella's friend. Is she doing okay in Germany? Adrian, Stella who? Lucas, the girl who followed you all the way to Germany. Adrian, too many to keep straight. If that's it, I'm deleting you, by . Lucas, Adrian, hold up, is that your avatar? Lucas, yeah, me and my girlfriend. 20 minutes later, Adrian had finished stalking his Instagram. Adrian, you already have a girlfriend, yet you're asking about some other girl? Lucas, not like that. Today's my birthday, my girl threw me the sweetest surprise ever, happiest day of my life. It made me think how messed up I was chasing Stella, how she controlled my moods. Being loved like this feels human. Dot. Adrian, so you're here to flaunt your happiness and torture single dogs? Lucas, haha, just tipsy and sentimental. I used to hate Stella, now I wish her well. When you're wrapped in love, you smile at the whole world. Cute sticker, Adrian, black face emoji, Lucas, alright, feels good to get it out. Let's delete each other, thanks for listening, man. Dot. Adrian, wait. Now I'm the one feeling awful. Dot. Lucas, huh? Adrian, your head's not right. If you still care how she's doing, you haven't let go. Dot. Lucas, I honestly thought I had. Dot. Adrian, trust me, you haven't. Dot. Lucas, Adrian, really? You're too close to see it. Deep down you still love Stella. By the way, which Stella are we talking about? Lucas, asterisk photo sent asterisk this one. Dot. Adrian, stunning. A girl like that, are you willing to give her up? Lucas, if she's so perfect, why'd you turn her down after she chased you for ages? Adrian, me? I'm physically not up to par, you know. Didn't want to ruin any girl's future, so I've rejected everyone. Dot. Lucas, that's rough, dude. Dot. Adrian, exactly why I want a healthy guy like you to fight for his happiness. Seeing you and Stella together would make my day. Dot. Lucas, but I really love my girlfriend. Adrian, you're only infatuated because she spoils you. And let's be honest, your girlfriend looks plain. Anyone normal would know which one to pick. Dot. Lucas, plain? The first time she approached me, my heart literally restarted. Dot. Adrian, yet she made the first move. That puts you in different leagues. By the way, what do you think attracted her? Lucas, no idea. I was in a dark place, gave the world attitude, apparently my ice-cold vibe hooked her. Dot. Adrian, cold, brooding, treats everyone like crap. Got it. Dot. Lucas, man, after talking to you my brain scrambled. Dot. Adrian, means there's conflict in your heart. Keep the faith, don't abandon Stella. Dot. Lucas, okay. Dot. Adrian, remember, reuniting with Stella is my dying wish. Dot.